You are now listening to the Tapped In Podcast by Bailey Scott. Hello, y'all. Welcome back to the podcast. It's Bailey. So, if I'm going to be honest, I was having a hard time deciding what to talk about. So let me just go on a little rant. So yesterday, I don't food shame. I'm not food shaming. Okay. This is just me. This is all my personal experience. So yesterday, I don't normally eat like this. Like, I've been eating so good the past few weeks, and I should do a whole nother episode about food because that's just a whole nother topic. But, yeah, so yesterday I ate some like greasy pizza and I had a Coke, and like, I don't normally drink soda much anymore, but I was with friends and I was just like, you know what? Like, let's just live it up. It was kind of like my last time seeing them before I move, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. But yesterday, I was just kind of like in a mood and I was like, I just want to eat what I want to eat. So I had some pizza and I had a Coke, and I don't know exactly if that is the main reason for my low energy, but this morning I've been up since 8 and it's been a couple hours. It's like 10 now. And I've just been kind of like, I've been slumming. I've been chilling and I've been so tired. And I honestly could go back to sleep right now. I'm chilling in my bed. I honestly could totally go back to sleep right now if I really wanted to. Will I? No, but I totally could. But yeah, and I feel like it was just the food that I ate. Like, I don't normally eat like that. So this morning I woke up with low energy and I was just like, I don't know what to talk about in the podcast. Like, nothing is flowing to me right now. You know, I even look through some of my notes of stuff that I want to talk about, and it's just not resonating right now. There's like a different feeling that I'm resonating with. So I decided to journal it out. I just decided to write down my thoughts to see what would pop up. And thankfully, journaling always pulls through for me. So I'm just going to talk about what's kind of going on in my life right now and how it could most definitely help you in any position you are in your life. If you want transition, if you want change, if you want growth. So I am going to be moving to California in the next couple days. I don't know when I'm posting this exactly, but I am moving. And it's going to be in a couple days. And I'm just in this weird mood where I'm like, I'm really ready. I've accepted that I'm moving. I'm packing, and you know, like, the more that I'm seeing my room get empty and the more that I'm packing, I'm realizing like I'm doing this. Like, this is going to be a move. And I'm one of those people that attaches emotion to an environment. And of course, this is my house. This is my home. This is where I grew up. Kind of. This house, I grew up when I went to high school. So I've kind of just been in this house for about 6 years or so. And, you know, I've just had a lot of memories here. I've had a lot of emotions. Rearranged this room a lot. And so it's just kind of weird leaving it, you know, and kind of just, you know, accepting the fact that it's not necessarily, it's going to be my room, but it's kind of weird accepting the fact that I'm going to have another room with my stuff in it, and I'm just not going to have this space anymore to be mine. It's just kind of weird to think about, and I'm sure if you moved out of the house, you can completely understand where I'm coming from, like, you know, moving all your stuff, and it's just weird not seeing it in your room anymore. So I'm kind of uncomfortable. I'm kind of feeling the energy that something new is happening and a new chapter is starting. And I love that feeling. It's very good. It's resonating for sure, but it's also kind of unsettling and uncomfortable. And it feels uncomfortable because it's new, but I know that discomfort means growth. And that's really what I wanted to talk about today, is the fact that if you're in a situation and you seek something like growth, but you don't know if your environment is exactly the place for that, uncomfortability is most definitely needed in order for us to expand our mind and expand our learning experience, expand our knowledge in this life. There's so much that this life has to offer. So many people, so many foods, so many places, so many adventures. But on top of that, there's also what else life comes with, which is the discomfort feelings, which is the spontaneous yet unsettling situations. And sadly, all of it is needed in order for us to see development in ourselves and our souls and our lives, And it's really unfortunate, some of the things that happen, I haven't even moved there yet, you know what I mean? But hearing stories of other people, it is slightly unfortunate that these things have to happen in order for us to acknowledge growth. But we're all on different timelines. We all have different journeys and different stories. And it's just something that we need to embrace whenever we are in a position of uncomfortability. Because when you're somewhere and you feel like you've energetically outgrown your space, and you might be like, what does that mean? Whenever you're, say, in your childhood bedroom, or say you moved out of a house and you moved into a new house, and then you go back to that other house and you kind of be like, how did I live here? You know what I mean? Like, I could not see myself living here now. You know what I mean? You've outgrown your space. You've outgrown that energy. Energetically, you are bigger than where you have been, or maybe where you are now. And that's happened to me a couple times. That happened to me when I moved out for the first time. I moved in with my boyfriend, or my ex, and a roommate. And I was there for about, I don't know, maybe like 8-9 months or something. I wasn't there for a full year, I don't think. And I got in this position where I was like, I'm definitely outgrowing this energy. I need new energy. And it's uncomfortable, right? It's like, okay, I really feel like I need more space. I feel like I need new space. I feel like I need to change it up. And sometimes you can only change up a room so much, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, okay, well, we can either stay in a place where we've outgrown, or we can follow through with our soul and our body is saying to let go. And so I decided to let go, and I decided to move back home. And moving back home felt really good for a period of time. It did. It felt like that I had time to kind of readjust to what I actually wanted in this life, because I was wrapped up in a relationship, and getting out of a relationship, you kind of need to know what you want for yourself at the end of the day. So there was this time frame between me living at home and now, to where I was just kind of like working, and where I'm just kind of like, okay, what does Bailey want? Because it used to be what Bailey and blank wants. So I need to decide. So I've kind of just been doing my own thing for the past few months, and working, and, kind of just working on my social medias and stuff like that. And I traveled to California. It was for a friend's birthday, but I traveled to California, and the opportunity popped up for me and my fellow friend to move in. And it just kind of fell. It just kind of fell into my lap. And the opportunity was brought up to me, and I couldn't say no, because I was like, I've outgrown my space. I've outgrown my energy. And if I were not out my energy, I've outgrown the space that this room holds. Like, I'm looking at it right now and I'm just like, I'm so ready for change. I'm so ready to not look at the same thing every single day anymore. And I know it happens anywhere you go, really. I'm not saying that moving spontaneously will solve all your problems. But what I am saying is listening to your gut, listening to your intuition can be so, so beneficial for your future self. And to me, listening to my gut listening to my gut means that I am living in a present future mindset, which is what I talked about in not the last episode, but I believe it was in the worthiness episode. Your worth lies in who you are. I was acknowledging, or I was saying how a lot of people live in a past present mindset. So when it comes to your environment, you are living in a past present mindset because you're either staying where it's comfortable and you've lived there for years and years and years, and you're hanging out with the same people that you've hung out with for years and years and years, and you're just staying where it's comfortable. You're like, you know what? I'm secure. I'm fine. But your gut that you might not be listening to, or it might not be healthy enough for you to be able to listen to it, but our gut holds all of the intuition that we need. And I feel like that if you decide to avoid that gut, you're going to remain stagnant, and you're going to not be able to become who you should. And I feel like that situations will happen to you that'll feel like inconveniences that'll be pushing you back further and further. And it's because you're not following your soul's desires. You're not following your soul destiny. And so when sad things happen, or when bad, random, spontaneous things happen, it's just kind of like, why is this all happening to me, right? But it's almost just like you're not listening to yourself. And you might not be in a position where you can listen to yourself. You know what I mean? You might just have so much external opinions and a relationship or parents or a workplace that holds you back, and you feel like that you have to listen to that. But I'm here to tell you, I am your sign to say that you have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to what your intuition is saying. Whatever you love to do, whether it be photography or drawing or writing or I don't know. There's a lot of things people love to do. Fix cars. I don't know, build things, whatever it is that you loved doing that feels like a soul calling, or you have loved it since you were a kid. You kind of grew out of it because you became an adult and you adjusted to your environment. Therefore, you kind of let it go. I feel like when we are in a place of stagnant energy, we aren't acknowledging our soul's desires. And that's where I feel like manifestation can come into play. Because if you want to manifest positive and, positive, I guess, people or positive situations, or, I guess if you want to manifest new opportunities, I feel like you can't manifest those things if you aren't stepping into the uncomfortability of trying new things, of change, of growth, because that's you showing the universe that you're ready for these manifestations. That's you showing the universe that's like, okay, I am in a new energy. I am in a new environment, whatever that may be. It may not actually physically be a new environment, but it might be new people. It might be a new workplace. It might be a new opportunity that you're deciding, a new project, So I feel like when we listen to those gut feelings, those intuition feelings that are inside of us, they're bubbling inside of us. We feel it. It's speaking to us through dreams or through, obviously, maybe our mind. We're just listening to it through our bodies, That's when manifestations can come into play. And that's when the universe starts giving back, starts being more abundant to you because you're listening to yourself. You're listening to your soul and that gut feeling that's like, girl, you got this. You just got to do it. You know what I mean? And holding back hurts nobody but yourself. And I don't know your situation. Always know that this life is for you. You were brought into this life, and you have to follow what your soul is saying. If you don't know how to listen to your soul, or if you feel like listening to your soul is selfish or whatever, I say that that is you staying in stagnant energy. That is an excuse to stay in a stagnant energy. There is always something that can be changed. And you might have people that call you selfish, but that's when you have to listen to that God, that universe, that guidance that is all inside of us. We all have it inside of us, no matter what you call it. It is a divine being. It is your highest self inside of you, and it is saying, listen to me. Listen to me. And I feel like where I'm at, I am listening to that inner me. I am listening to that God inside of me, that universe that is saying, put your trust in me, there, aka put trust in myself, and push for what I want. Live in my truth, you know? Because living in your truth means you are actually following what this life has desired for you. And I feel like a lot of us humans, we live in comfortability forever. Like people never grow out of uncomfortability. And it could mean your environment. You know, environment is everything. And it could mean that your environment is holding you back. But in my position, and I don't know your position, but in my position, I feel like that me feeling uncomfortable and me pushing for this soul desire is going to bring more abundance into my life. I don't know how, but it's going to. And I am holding that trust inside my heart. I am holding that faith. I am trusting my highest self and my guidance right now because they have been speaking to me. And, you know, by they, I just mean through meditation, and I mean through prayer and when I journal, and sometimes just when I do yoga. I feel as though I'm getting spoken to by words that aren't mine, and it's all getting said through my body. It's not just my thoughts. It's not just my brain creating, you know, these random words or sentences. It's almost like just an essence of being that's over me. It's a feeling. And I feel like I'm listening to that. I feel like I'm finally listening to that feeling. I kind of have for a while, but I never really knew what it was saying, you know? It was just kind of like, Bailey, you're outgrowing your space, you know? And the opportunity fell into my lap once I decided, universe, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready. Like, show me what I need. Show me what abundance can come into my life through me making this action of transition. So me making this transitional action, me stepping into a whole new environment will bring abundance to me. And of course, things happen in this life. Like I've said, situations happen, but I'm not thinking about that because when that shit happens, you deal with it when it's happening. You don't think about how am I going to deal with it no, you deal with it when it comes up. But that's why I do this spirituality stuff daily. You know, I daily tap into how I can better myself because when I am brought up in situations that are, you know, kind of uncomfortable, unsettling, you know, maybe arguments or whatever the case may be, I know myself enough to not react to those situations. I know myself enough I feel like I know myself enough to be able to know how to respond to those situations. So that's why I'm ready. That's how I feel like I'm ready. And that's how I feel like the universe just kind of, like I said, dropped this opportunity in my lap. And I feel like I wouldn't have followed through with it if it didn't feel like I had to do it, because if I didn't feel like I had to do it, if I didn't I was pressured in it, but I was pressured in a good way. It was just kind of like, girl, make the decision. We kind of need to know. And I'm like, you know what? Like, why am I not saying yes? Like, say yes, Bailey. Why are you not saying yes? And it was those negative thoughts of, well, what about my job? What about this? What about that? And I'm like, I have no commitments left. I have nothing holding me back. And if I have the opportunity to feel this sense of growth and a change, then I'm going to take it and I'm going to run with it. I'm going to listen to my gut and I'm going to hear what she has to say. And I'm going to see I'm going to see when the universe will reside all this energy back to me in a positive light, in abundance, in love, in joyful moments. I know that this is when things will be brought back to me. So by me saying all this, I hope it's resonating with you in a way that makes you feel like that if I live in my truth, abundance will come to me, and it'll come to you in a lot of different ways. Like I feel like I said it already, but it'll come back to you in friendships or in relationships, new connections, new opportunities, a new environment, I feel like that once we accept that we're going to live in our truth, that we're going to follow by what our soul is guiding us to do, new things will come to us. And we can't let that fear, we can't let those doubts and guilt and shame, all those negative emotions, we can't let those hold us back, because those negative emotions are not who we are. Oh, I just hit the mic. Those negative emotions are not who we are. We weren't born with those. We were born like joyful little beings, okay? That's how we were born. As children, we are joyful little beings. We know what we want and we know what we love to do. We know who we love. And that's that. That's how we live life. You know what I mean? So as an adult, of course, we have to incorporate adult things, but why can't we still live as though we're listening to ourselves? We're listening to the inner us that isn't that negative, fearful little, what if this, what if that thoughts. We're listening to the thoughts that are, I'm just going to do it because I want. I'm just going to do it because I want to. My soul is saying, do it. So I'm going to do it. I'm ready, and I might have these feelings of uncomfortability. I might have these feelings of unsettlingness. That's not a word. I might have these feelings of discomfort, but I'm not going to let it hold me back, because I know these feelings of discomfort are needed for growth. So if you are in a position where you want to feel, or if you're in a position where you feel like you've outgrown your space, you feel like that you've outgrown your energy. Why do I keep saying outgrown your energy? Maybe that does make sense. If you're in a space where you've outgrown the energy that surrounds you, you need new energy. You need something that will fill your cup. You need energy that'll bring you abundance, because your environment maybe isn't bringing you the abundance you deserve. Then I'm your sign to say, follow that gut. And I don't know how long it'll take. I don't know what you love to do. I don't know what your soul calling is. But what I can say is, if you follow that gut, abundance will come to you. And that's not just me saying that. That is God. That is the universe. That is your guide saying, I will provide you with abundance. You just have to listen. You have to ask for guidance. You have to know what you want, and you have to chase for it, and abundance will come to you. And Knowing what you want could be whatever. I don't know what you want, but you know what you want. And so if you follow that gut, if you follow that intuition, opportunities and abundance will come to you in so many different ways, so unknowingly, so spontaneously. It'll be like, oh my gosh, wow, like the universe did really just do that. Like they did really just plop this opportunity into my lap, did they? And you're just kind of in that moment where you're like, wow, like I'm really glad I listened to myself. I am really glad that I listened to that me, even though in that moment I was uncomfortable, even though in that moment I was unsettled and shit wasn't making sense. I'm still glad that I listened to that inner being inside of me that said, let go and do it. So if you feel like that you needed to hear that, I'm glad that I was your sign to acknowledge that. So what helps me is journaling. If you don't have a journal, get a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. Journal out, write out what you love to do. Write out what you feel solely connected to, and you don't know why. Maybe you can explain it while you're journaling. You can explain why you feel connected with this. Maybe write down some goals that you want. Maybe it doesn't have to be goals made this year. It doesn't have to be goals made this next month, next week, but write goals that you want to pursue in this life. And just writing it all out, it can really help you channel what you feel most connected with. Because for me, like I've had a lot of stuff that I said I'd love to do and I'd love to pursue. And then my mind has changed the more that I've grown, so you might write something down now and you might not resonate it. You might not resonate with it a month from now, a year from now, whatever the case may be. But it's the fact that you're diving into those thoughts of creativity and you're diving into those thoughts of, well, I really like this. I really want to pursue in this. It could literally be anything and you could follow through with it and it might not be right. But it's the fact that you decided to listen to yourself in that moment. You're building your intuition muscle. You're building that mind-body connection where you're listening to your body in that moment and you're also listening to your body in the moment when you're like, this isn't really resonating anymore. And that's okay because that's growth. That's growth, baby. That means that you're doing the right thing. Even if something feels right one moment and doesn't feel right the next, that's growth. And I'm letting you know that you're acknowledging that, okay, well, at least I acknowledged it in that moment that I wanted that, but now it's not something that's settling with me. And that's okay. That is okay. And it's okay to feel lost. It's okay to feel stuck. If you don't know what you want this life, it's okay. But just know that an idea or, a new sense of new opportunity will come. It will pop into your mind. I promise you that. And once you feel that, you'll know. Once you feel like, wow, I have this great idea. I think I need to write it down, or I need to pursue in this actually. You'll know. You will know. And then the more you keep doing it, you might grow more into doing it. You might get even deeper into that one thing and sprout out, or you might have outgrown it. But it's the fact that you stepped into that box of uncomfortability and you outgrew it. So what I want you to take from this episode is that you deserve a change in energy if you feel the need for it. You deserve to live in your truth because your truth is what will hold you to your highest you that you can ever be. And once you live in that highest being of you, it'll just sprout new opportunities and more abundance to you. And I just want us all to live in our highest selves because I feel like if we can live in our highest selves, it'll save the world in so many different ways. And I want to see that. I want to see the world change. And I really hope that I can help in any way. So definitely live in your truth, follow your gut, and listen. Just sometimes sit in silence and listen. So thank you guys so much if you've listened all the way to the end. I kind of went all over the place today. I tend to do that when I don't really have notes, but that's just kind of where my brain's been at today. But I really appreciate you listening, and I really hope you got something from this. Repeat after me. I love me. And I am going to listen to myself today and forever. Thank you guys again for tapping in, and stay tapped in for the next episode. I love you.